Hi, welcome to Introduction to Algebra 1, Algebraic Inequality Equations. Inequalities are used to represent whether a numerical value is greater than, less than, or equal to a number. Inequality signs appear as greater than, less than, or equal to, as shown on screen. In a way, an inequality sign appears like an alligator's mouth. Alligators are often hungry and want the most food. So the open side faces towards the largest number. Example, 8 is greater than 3. The open side of the inequality faces towards the 8 because it is greater than 3. Inequality signs can also appear as greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, as shown on screen. The line below the inequality simply applies that a number is greater than or equal to a number, or vice versa. Solving an algebraic inequality is simple. Solve the equation for x and keep the inequality sign where it is pointing. Let's do some practice. So our first question, we have x plus 5 is greater than or equal to 8. So the first thing we want to do is solve this like an algebraic equation. So x plus 5 minus 5 is the opposite. So we do 8 minus 5, and we have x is greater than or equal to 3. And that's simply our answer, just like simple algebra. So look at the next question. 4x plus 4 is less than 16. So since we're adding 4, we'll do the opposite, which is subtraction. Subtract 4 from both sides. 4x is less than 12. Divide both sides by 4. We find that x is less than 3. Alright, and our last problem. 10x plus 10 is less than or equal to 30. So we're adding 10, so we take the opposite sign, we'll subtract 10. We have 10x is less than or equal to 20. Since we're multiplying 10 by x, we do the opposite, which is divide. Divide both sides by 10. And we have x is less than or equal to 2. Alright, simple. Now, there is one exception when it comes to inequality signs. If a negative coefficient is front of the variable, a variable is x, y, or any letter, and you must divide the entire equation by the negative number in front of the variable, simply flip the direction of the inequality sign. Now, let's go ahead and try some examples. So here, our first question. Now, we have negative 3x is greater than or equal to 9. Now, we're multiplying negative 3 times x, so we do the opposite and we divide both sides by negative 3. And since we're dividing both sides of the equation by a negative number, the greater than or equal to sign is flipped. So instead of x being greater than or equal, now x is less than or equal to negative 3. Okay, now we have negative 2x plus 4 is less than or equal to 12. So we're adding 4, so we subtract both sides by 4. Now we have negative 2x is less than or equal to 8. Divide both sides by negative 2. Now we're dividing the equation both sides by a negative number, so now x is greater than or equal to negative 4. Okay, now I encourage you to pause the video and try some of these example problems yourself. Alright, let's look at these problems. So, we have 7x plus 7 is less than or equal to 49. So, since we're adding 7, subtract 7 by both sides. 7x is less than or equal to 42. Simply divide both sides by 7. We find that x is less than or equal to 6. Alright, last question. Here we have negative x plus 4 is greater than 8. So, since we're adding 4, we subtract both sides by 4, minus 4, and we have negative x is greater than 4. Now, we never want to have our answer as negative x within these equations. So, we need to get x so it's just positive x. So, in order to do that, we divide both sides of the equation by negative 1. Doing so will make x a positive number, positive 1. Now, since we divided both sides by a negative number, x is now less than 4, negative 4. All right, hopefully you learned something, and thank you for watching.